Welcome to Sundaram sir and Kalyan sir and my dear friends Mr. Bala and Mr. Chandrakumar. And it's good to see all you all here, aspirants, because I have been on your same seat probably about 4 years ago. Just with a single thought that I have to become an IAS. I don't know how to do that. So just it started as a process because the situation that time were not very conducive here in Chennai. But today the situation has vastly improved. That we can say the need to go to Delhi has been totally eliminated. Because Chennai has become a very good civil services hub. So first I would like to tell that. And basically there are two things when talking about the civil services. First is why you want to become a civil servant, and then comes the how part. How you would become a civil servant, how you would like to become a civil servant. I would divide my thinking into why part, how, then we'll deal about all the general studies, optionals, interview, what we have to do. Then finally we can have, after my friends speak, we can have a question and answer session also, where you can clarify all your individual doubts, but be specific, and we'll be able to clarify all your doubts. Right? And comes to why do you want to become a civil servant, right? So there are mainly, I find there are three major reasons. One is a genuine need, like for example, people would have been affected by something, like they are poor, they would be facing some problem in getting a certificate, in the collector, in the government offices, like that. Then that would have motivated them, right? So okay, we have to change the system, and we want to do the civil servants. Even I also had that type of an urge in me, like. Then the second is that it's a good career, it gives you a good package and status, symbol, everything and all. And last but not the least is the red light car, the collector's car, where everybody wants to come with the collector's car. Civil services people think only the red light car, but that is given only to a collector, and that too for IPS after some time. And civil services not only IAS and IPS, we have again 22 services in the civil services, and I would say like each and every service has its own role and has its own merit. Like for example, if you consider the Indian Railway Traffic Service and Indian Revenue Service, each and everything has its own role in the government, and each has its own prestige in the government system. So that I would like to tell. And basically, above all this, why you want to become a civil servant, finally which is going to get you to become a civil servant is a strong desire in you. Because the process of this civil services field, it's time taking. Because the exam pattern system is 1 year, and again you have to study for 1 year. So minimum 2 years is required for getting any result. And it is only minimum 2 years, and see I have put 4 years. And so what is needed much is perseverance and a strong desire, because we cannot expect immediate results in civil services. That I would like to make it very clear. And because if you wait, then the results are extremely good. Because I have been waited for, this is my third interview actually. So I have been waiting for 2 years in every time going interview, and it's a real tough feeling, because this is a cycle. Once even if you clear the interview, you have to again give the prelims. So you have to have that kind of perseverance in you. To wait for at least 3 or 4 years, and then only we can definitely succeed. So that type of strong desire, we should have to get succeed in the civil service, right? And for me, why I want to become a civil servant was because I had a good inspiration from my district collector, and because while I was doing my 12th. Mr. Irayanbu was our district collector. I belong to Kanchipuram. So I had seen like what type of things he had done there. Basically, not only the development works. We never imagined that our place could be affected by a flood, but our place was affected by flood, and he was the collector at that time, and he had taken an immediate decision to divert the waters to the burial ground. So then total problem was solved. So not only the development perspectives, the collector's role has very diversified. Ranging from the development part, you have also to take the disaster management, and you have to also take so much of coordination between other departments, and to ensure everybody's work is the collector's role. Basically, you have to make everybody run and they have to do their work. That is the collector's role. So which attracted me is the diverse nature of the job. Basically, the collector's job, it's like you can do anything in that particular when you are a collector. That basically, I don't agree that we have a lot of power. It is like more than the power, you have so much of responsibilities. In that collector's period of 2 or 3 years, we will be given with so much of responsibilities that and so much of hopes on us. So we have to really perform. And so that motivated me to become a civil servant. And basically, first, now let us come to the how to become a civil servant, right? So in that, the first question that comes to mind is selecting the optionals. Though in the preliminary they are now deciding that the options will not be there. They have not made sure, but most probably it will not be there. But in the mains, there is not any change till 2013. So anyhow, we have to do the optionals. So first and foremost thing is to select an optional. So that is the first thing, because after selecting the optional, then after doing it for 3 months, then we should not change like, okay, this is not suiting me, like that or not. So first we have to have an in-depth detail of why I am choosing an optional. So what are the factors in selecting optional? Basically, the main factors of selecting option is mainly your interest, right? Because I have done my engineering background. Just because I am an engineer, I didn't take engineering as my background. Because I had a real liking for Tamil. Though I did my Tamil in 10th standard, I had a real liking for Tamil. So I chose Tamil as my option. So likewise, what is that urge in you inside? Probably some of you must be very much interested in psychology. You can take that. Civil services is one field where anybody can take any optional, and if you have a real interest, you can get succeeded. But what you should consider while selecting the optional is that whether that optional has particular, good amount of materials in the subject. Like for example, if you are choosing Pali literature from Chennai, you don't have any material, or you don't have any institutes in Chennai also. Like that, Pali and some of these subjects like management and even maths, physics, chemistry, like those subjects, we don't have coaching in Chennai. So we have to decide an optional based upon the materials that are available. So Chennai, we can get good coaching for PABAT, public administration, geography, and Tamil literature, history, and even anthropology and psychology also. That we are getting coaching in Chennai. So if you are going to select an option among this, you can very well take up in Chennai itself. You are coaching everything in Chennai. And so basically it's all about your interest. And why I choose geography was, coming from an engineering background, geography will be having so much of concepts like climatology and other geomorphology, everything, it is all concepts. So it will be easy for us to understand while we read geography. And I had an interest about knowing about places. So geography is all about places and different places, what are they for, and what is the importance of that place. So I choose geography because of that. So if you have an interest like that, then you can take geography. And coming to first, I would like to tell you about GS, how to prepare about for GS. Then I'll go to the optionals, right? So first, let me talk about GS. And coming to GS, one thing which has been focused much by UPSC is the newspapers and the current affairs. So of late, like for example in the mains which we had written, the polity questions, there were not a single polity question from the regular or conservative type. Like for example, the president, prime minister, which type of system, not even a single question. But how the questions were? The questions were basically the issues that happened in that previous year, like the last year, and the underlying, basically what is the concept underlying that issue. I would like to give an example and I'll explain it. Like for example, if you remember, last time there were the bitter speeches by Varun Gandhi and also some open statements by Shashi Tharoor, like the cattle class, travel, everything and all. So what they did was, they asked the question in a different format, right? So what is freedom of speech, and how it is taking, how it is being, whether it is possible in the current scenario. So that was the question. It was not like any fundamental rights, DPSP, not like that. So what we have to do is, any issue that is happening very currently, so we have to identify what is the concept behind that issue. Like I would say, if you take up the current issue, like the burning issue is the Mangalore incident, right? So we should not see only it as a fact, like the Mangalore incident, it has happened, 158 passengers died, not like that. What is the underlying issue behind that? The issue is that air safety. So how we are ensuring air safety, in how the government is doing air safety. And so like that, every issue, try to identify the core of the issue. Like for example, there is a problem in Jharkhand. Why the problem? The problem is due to the coalition government. So the question will be posed like, what is the future of the coalition system, or whether a strong center is possible, or a strong government, stable government, whether it is possible these days. So these type of issues you have to identify out of each and every headline basically. So today if it comes the Air India strike and the people are shut down from their job, so they can pose you a question like, what about the unions? Give your views about the unions and the associations. Particularly in the security forces like police and army, we don't have unions. So like that they can ask you. So while reading a paper, don't just read it for a fact. You have to read it for the core issue, identifying that, right? And so since I am emphasizing, why I am emphasizing much